The alarm screamed across the bridge of the Galactic Council flagship Nexus Prime, as Admiral Kethvar's four eyes widened in disbelief. The massive viewing screen displayed something that shouldn't exist, a fleet of ships that defied every law of physics the galaxy had accepted for 10,000 years. Report. Kethvar's voice cracked through his translator. The usually composed Zalarian's confidence shattered. Sir, we're detecting 37 vessels approaching from the Terran sector. Communications Officer Yila stammered, her tentacles trembling as she worked her console. But sir, they're not showing up on our gravitational sensors, only visual and electromagnetic. That's impossible, growled Commander Hask, the reptilian Drachmaran scales bristling. Nothing that size can move through space without a gravitational signature. But there they were, sleek, angular ships unlike anything in the galaxy's databases. Their hulls seemed to drink in the light of nearby stars, creating an unsettling effect that made them appear to flicker in and out of existence. The largest vessel dwarfed even the Council's dreadnoughts, yet it moved with the grace of a fighter. Craft. Incoming transmission, Yila announced, her voice barely above a whisper. The screen flickered and suddenly they were looking at a human. Not just any human. A woman with steel-gray eyes and silver hair pulled back in a tight bun. Her uniform bore no recognizable insignia, but authority radiated from her like heat from a star. I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Dark Matter Fleet, she said, her voice calm and measured. We represent humanity's response to the Galactic Council's oversight. Kethvar found his voice. This is Admiral Kethvar of the Galactic Council. You are in violation of the Treaty of Cosmic Harmony. Humans are forbidden from developing military technology beyond Level 3 classification. Admiral Chen's smile was cold as the void between stars. That treaty was signed by the old Earth government. We don't recognize their authority anymore. Impossible, Hask snarled. Our intelligence reports show humanity barely achieved faster than light travel 50 years ago. You lack the technology to what? Chen interrupted. To harness dark matter? To build ships that exist partially outside normal space-time? To create weapons that can tear holes in reality itself? The silence on the bridge was deafening. You see, Admiral Kethvar, Chen continued, the Council made a critical error. You assumed humanity would remain primitive forever. You assumed we would never discover what you've been hiding from us. I don't know what you're talking about, Kethvar replied, but his voice lacked conviction. The void stations, Chen said simply. The dark matter harvesting facilities you've been operating in the outer rim for the past 3,000 years. The technology you've kept from every younger species while using it to maintain your stranglehold on galactic civilization. The blood drained from Kethvar's face. The void stations were the Council's most closely guarded secret. Facilities that existed in the spaces between normal matter, invisible to conventional sensors, harvesting the universe's most abundant and mysterious substance. How did you, he began, discover them? Chen's smile widened. The same way we discovered everything else. We listened, we learned, and we did what humans do best. We adapted and overcame. Suddenly, the human fleet began to move in ways that defied physics. Ships phased through each other like ghosts, while others seemed to fold space around themselves, appearing and reappearing in impossible locations. Battle stations, Kethvar roared, but even as he gave the order, he knew it was too late. The first human ship to attack didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, it seemed to reach out with invisible hands and simply squeezed. The Council frigate, Harmony's Edge, imploded without warning, crushed by forces no sensor could detect. Sir, Yila's voice was pure panic now. They're using dark matter as a weapon. Our shields can't stop it because it's not interacting with normal matter. Retreat, Kethvar commanded. All ships emergency jump to. But space itself seemed to thicken around the Council fleet. The ships that tried to engage their faster-than-light drives found themselves trapped, held in place by an invisible web of dark matter manipulation. You're not going anywhere, Admiral Chen said, her image still dominating the screen. Not until you hear what we have to say. Chapter 2. The Revelation. 3 hours later, Admiral Kethvar found himself in a position he'd never imagined, sitting, across from a human in what appeared to be a negotiation chamber, aboard the human flagship Prometheus. The room itself was disturbing, its walls seeming to shift and flow like liquid mercury, occasionally revealing glimpses of star fields that couldn't possibly exist in the same location. "This ship exists partially in dark matter space, Admiral," Chen explained, noticing his discomfort. "We've learned to navigate the spaces between spaces, the realm your people have been secretly exploiting for millennia." Beside Chen sat a man who looked impossibly young, with bright blue eyes and an expression of barely contained excitement. "I'm Dr. Marcus Webb," he said, extending his hand in the human gesture of greeting. "I suppose you could call me Humanities' first dark matter physicist." Kethvar didn't take the offered hand. "How did you discover the void stations?" "Pure accident," Webb replied, his enthusiasm undiminished by the alien's coldness. "We were conducting experiments on dark matter detection when we started picking up artificial structures in what we thought was empty space. Massive installations that existed in dimensions we couldn't even properly perceive. It took us 5 years to figure out how to phase shift our equipment into dark matter space," Chen added. "Another 3 to understand what we were looking at, and when we finally did, we realized we'd been played," Webb finished. "The entire galactic community, every species that had ever achieved spaceflight, had been kept at a technological level that prevented them from discovering what you were really doing." Kethavar's silence was admission enough. "The resources you've been harvesting," Chen continued. "Dark matter makes up 85% of the universe's mass. You've had access to effectively unlimited energy and matter manipulation for 3,000 years. Meanwhile, you've convinced everyone else that faster-than-light travel and basic energy weapons are the pinnacle of technology. You don't understand," Kethvar finally spoke. "The knowledge is dangerous. Dark matter manipulation can tear apart reality itself. We've kept it contained to prevent—" "To prevent what?" Webb interrupted. "Other species from achieving the same level of power, from challenging the Council's authority, to prevent the destruction of the galaxy." Kethvar's composure finally cracked. "Do you have any idea what dark matter weapons can do? They can collapse stars, tear holes in space-time, unravel the very fabric of reality." "Yes," Chen said quietly. "We know, we've tested them. The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees." "You've what?" Kethvar whispered. "We've tested them," Chen repeated. "On unpopulated star systems in the void between galaxies. We've seen what happens when you destabilize a star's dark matter interactions. We've watched reality tear itself apart and then repair itself. We've learned to control forces that make your Council's weapons look like children's toys." Webb leaned forward, his excitement barely contained. "But here's the thing, Admiral. We didn't just learn to use dark matter. We learned to communicate with it." "That's impossible," Kethvar said, but his voice lacked conviction. "Is it?" Webb smiled. "Dark matter isn't just matter that doesn't interact with light. It's matter that exists partially outside our normal dimensional framework. It's matter that, in some sense, is aware." "Show him," Chen said simply. Webb nodded, and placed his hand on what appeared to be a blank section of the wall. Instantly, the room filled with a presence that made Kethvar's skin crawl. It wasn't visible or audible, but it was undeniably there, vast, ancient, and utterly alien. "The dark matter entities," Webb explained as the presence faded. "They've been watching the universe evolve for billions of years. They've seen civilizations rise and fall, species achieve greatness and then destroy themselves. And they've been waiting." "Waiting for what?" "For a species mature enough to join them in the spaces between spaces," Chen answered. "The Council has been using dark matter like a tool, like a resource to be exploited. But humanity, we've learned to work with it as a partner." Kethvar felt a chill that had nothing to do with the room's temperature. "What do you want?" "Justice," Chen said simply. "The Council has maintained its power through deception and technological suppression for 3,000 years. You've prevented countless species from reaching their full potential, kept them trapped in a carefully controlled box while you harvested the universe's most abundant resource. And now, Kethvar asked, though he dreaded the answer. Now, humanity is going to level the playing field. Chapter 3. The Ultimatum. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened in the Great Chamber on Nexus Prime, but the atmosphere was unlike anything in the organization's 3,000-year history. Representatives from 47 species filled the circular chamber, their voices creating a cacophony of fear, anger, and confusion. High Chancellor Vossistak, the ancient Etherian whose energy-based form had guided the council for over a century, called for order with a pulse of blue light that silenced the room. We are gathered to address the situation with the human fleet. Vostok's voice resonated through the chamber's speakers. Admiral Kethvar, your report. Kethvar rose slowly, his 4 eyes scanning the assembled representatives. These beings, some of whom he'd known for decades, now looked at him with expressions ranging from confusion to outright hostility. The humans have discovered the void stations, he said simply. The chamber erupted. Delegates leaped to their feet, their various forms of communication creating a storm of sound and energy. It took several minutes for Vostok to restore order. Impossible, declared Ambassador Trillin of the Hegemony. The void stations exist, in dark matter space. No Level 3 civilization has the technology to detect them. The humans are no longer Level 3, Kethvar replied. They've achieved dark matter manipulation. Their ships exist partially outside normal spacetime. They've weaponized dark matter itself. How? Demanded Counselor Zerth, the crystalline resonance form pulsing with agitation. Our intelligence reports show humanity's most advanced technology is barely beyond chemical rockets. They've been hiding their development, Kethvar said, working in secret for decades. And they've done something we never imagined possible. They've made contact with the dark matter entities. This revelation sent the chamber into chaos again. Several delegates began rapid consultations with their homeworlds, while others demanded immediate military action. Order! Vostok's voice boomed, accompanied by a flash of energy that temporarily blinded several representatives. We will proceed with calm deliberation. Admiral Kethvar, what are the humans' demands? They want the truth revealed to all galactic civilizations, Kethvar replied. They want the void station shut down, and the dark matter technology shared freely, and they want the council disbanded. Unacceptable, Trillin snarled. The council has maintained galactic peace for 3 millennia. We've prevented countless wars, guided species to prosperity. By lying to them, a new voice interrupted. Every head in the chamber turned as Admiral Chen materialized in the center of the room, her form flickering slightly as if she existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. How did you? Vostok began. Dark matter phasing. Chen replied calmly. Your security systems can't detect what exists partially outside normal spacetime. Neither can your weapons. This is an outrage, Trillin roared. Guards, arrest this primitive. But the guards who rushed forward found their weapons passing harmlessly through Chen's form. She was there, undeniably present, but untouchable. I've come to make you an offer, Chen said, her voice carrying clearly throughout the chamber. One that will determine the future of this galaxy. We don't negotiate with terrorists, Zerth declared. Terrorists? Chen smiled coldly. Counselor Zerth, your species, the Resonance, achieved faster-than-light travel 400 years ago. Did you know that your natural crystalline structure makes you perfect conduits for dark matter energy? With the proper technology, your people could manipulate matter at the quantum level, transmute elements, even create pocket dimensions. Zerth's crystalline form flickered. That's impossible, is it? Your own scientists theorized about such possibilities decades ago, but somehow their research was always redirected. Funding was cut. Promising young researchers were offered positions with the council, their work classified and buried. Murmurs, rippled through the chamber as other delegates began to exchange worried glances. Ambassador Trillin, Chen continued. The hegemony's natural telepathic abilities could be enhanced with dark matter technology to enable communication across galactic distances without the need for relay stations. Your people could become the universe's first truly instantaneous communication network. And the Drakmaran regenerative abilities, she said, turning to Commander Hask, could be boosted to the point where your people achieve functional immortality. The Zalarians could use dark matter manipulation to enhance their natural four-dimensional perception, seeing through time itself. With each revelation, the chamber grew quieter. The delegates were beginning to realize the magnitude of what had been kept from them. Every species in this galaxy has been held back, Chen declared. Every one of you has been prevented from reaching your full potential because the Council feared losing control. The Council has maintained order, Vostok protested, his energy form pulsing with agitation. Without our guidance, species would have destroyed themselves with technologies they couldn't handle. Like humanity is about to do? Chen asked quietly. The chamber fell silent. Here's our offer, Chen continued. We'll share our dark matter technology with every species in the galaxy. We'll teach you to communicate with the dark matter entities, to work with them rather than exploit them. We'll help you achieve your full potential. And in return? Vostok asked. The Council disbands, the void stations are shut down, and the galaxy enters a new age of cooperation and discovery. And if we refuse? Trillin demanded. Chen's expression hardened. Then we'll demonstrate why the dark matter entities chose to work with humanity rather than against us. Chapter 4. The New Dawn. The demonstration took place in the Kepler 442 system, a dead star system that had been chosen specifically because it contained no habitable planets. Representatives from every major galactic civilization watched from safe distances as Admiral Chen's flagship, Prometheus, positioned itself near the system's burnt-out star. What you're about to see, Chen's voice carried across all communication channels, is what happens when dark matter entities work together with a species that has learned to respect rather than exploit them. Dr. Webb's voice joined the transmission. Dark matter makes up 85% of the universe's mass, but it's not just matter in the traditional sense. It's a bridge between dimensions, a substrate upon which reality itself is built. When you learn to work with it rather than against it, the possibilities are limitless. On the screens of hundreds of ships, the dead star began to change. Its surface, which had been dark and cold for millions of years, began to pulse with new light. But this wasn't the nuclear fusion of a normal star. This was something entirely different. We're not just reigniting the star, Webb explained. We're creating a new form of stellar life. A star that exists partially in dark matter space, one that can sustain itself indefinitely without burning out. The star's light shifted through colors that had no names, frequencies that existed beyond the normal electromagnetic spectrum. And as it brightened, the dead planets in the system began to change as well. Atmospheres formed from nothing. Oceans of liquid water appeared on worlds that had been barren rock. And most incredibly, life began to bloom. Not the slow evolution of biology, but the conscious creation of entire ecosystems. This is what's possible, Chen said, her voice filled with wonder when you stop fearing the unknown and start embracing it. Admiral Kethvar, watching from his flagship, felt his worldview crumbling. Everything the Council had built was based on control, on the careful management of knowledge and technology. But what he was witnessing was creation on a scale that made their greatest achievements look like children's games. The choice is yours, Chen continued. You can cling to your old ways, maintaining control through deception and suppression. Or you can join us in discovering what's really possible when all species work together. The response came from an unexpected source. I choose discovery, Counselor Zerth declared, his crystalline form pulsing with new patterns of light. The resonance withdraw from the Galactic Council and request to learn this new technology. As do the Drakmaran, Commander Hask added, his scales shifting to colors that indicated deep contemplation. We have been limited for too long. One by one, species after species declared their intention to withdraw from the Council and join humanity's new cooperative initiative. The 3,000-year-old organization that had ruled the galaxy dissolved in a matter of hours. High Chancellor Vostok was among the last to speak. The Etherians have guided this galaxy for centuries, he said, his energy form flickering with what might have been sadness. Perhaps it is time to step aside and let others lead. Not step aside, Chen corrected. Step forward with us. The universe is far larger and more wonderful than any of us imagined. There's room for everyone to explore, to grow, to become more than we ever thought possible. Epilogue. The Infinite Frontier. 6 months later, the galaxy was transformed. The void stations had been converted into research facilities where scientists from dozens of species worked together to understand the mysteries of dark matter. Ships that could phase between dimensions carried explorers to galaxies that had been unreachable just a year before. Dr. Marcus Webb stood in the observation deck of the new research station that orbited the revived star in the Kepler 442 system. The view was breathtaking. Not just the star itself, but the thriving worlds that surrounded it, each one a testament to what was possible when species worked together. Remarkable, isn't it? Admiral Chen said, joining him at the observation window. I never imagined it would happen so quickly, Webb replied. The Resonants have already figured out how to use dark matter to enhance their natural abilities. The Drakmoran are using it to accelerate their healing to the point where they're practically immortal. And the Etherians are teaching us how to exist as pure energy, Chen finished. It's like we've all been living in a small room our entire lives, and someone just opened the door to show us there's an entire universe outside. What's our next step? Webb asked. Chen smiled, her expression filled with the same wonder that had driven humanity to reach for the stars in the first place. We've made contact with dark matter entities from other galaxies. Apparently, there are species out there that have been working with dark matter for millions of years. They've been waiting for our galaxy to mature enough to join them. Join? Them in what? Exploring what lies beyond even dark matter, Chen replied. There are layers of reality we haven't even begun to understand. Dimensions within dimensions, universes within universes. And they're all connected by forces that make dark matter look simple. Webb stared out at the impossible star, its light, carrying frequencies that painted the darkness in colors that shouldn't exist. So this is just the beginning? This is just the beginning, Chen confirmed. Humanity spent thousands of years trapped on one planet, thinking we were alone in the universe. Then we discovered there were other species, other civilizations, and we thought that was the whole story. But now we know the truth, which is, the universe is infinite in ways we never imagined, and we've only just taken our first step into that infinity. As they watched, a ship phased into existence near the station. Not one of the familiar designs from their galaxy, but something that hurt to look at directly, its structure existing in dimensions that normal matter couldn't perceive. First, contact with the Andromedans, Chen said simply. They've been waiting for us to develop dark matter technology. Apparently they have something to show us. The ship's communication came not through radio waves or quantum entanglement, but through the dark matter itself, carrying thoughts and concepts that bypassed language entirely. Welcome to the infinite frontier, the message said. We have much to discuss. And as the stars wheeled overhead, their light painting patterns of possibility across the void, the representatives of two galaxies prepared to take their next step into the endless mystery of existence itself. The age of limitation was over. The age of infinite possibility had begun,